Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is less than a month away from its worldwide release in December, and I could not be more excited. I've been a huge fan of Puyo Puyo Tetris since the very beginning, and it is so insane that we are going from a series with the first game releasing in 2014 in Japan, and then miraculously getting a release in 2017 in the West, and now with its sequel, not only the fact that it's happening is amazing, but the fact that it is going to be so close to worldwide release is just so awesome. Now, as many of you may know, I don't do a lot of blind praise for Sega, but I have to congratulate them not only for greenlighting Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, but for doing such a great job in terms of getting this out worldwide as close as possible. I think the timing is perfect a month after next-gen systems are releasing, and the fact that it is releasing on so many systems is going to be such a blessing. So, unless you're playing this on PC, you'll be able to play this in December on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, Xbox Series S, and Xbox Series S. Having all of those platform choices possible is really, really great, and that was one of my favorite parts about the original Puyo Puyo Tetris, which released on just about anything that could run Tetris, or Puyo Puyo. So, you may be asking yourself, if you have the original Puyo Puyo Tetris, who is Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 for? So, there's a couple of different spots that you can kind of cover with that. But the biggest one that I really want to get into, because yes, you could be talking about the brand new adventure mode that does have a continuation of the story with new features. You could be talking about the new skill battles and how that might change up gameplay. But through the last couple of days I've been previewing the game, I've really come to notice that this is a game for next gen, which I know you might laugh at and think, well, look at this game, it's not pushing anything that hard. Like, if it can run fine on a Switch, why would I pick it up on an Xbox Series S or a PS5? So, the PlayStation 5 version, which I'm previewing, does have a couple of native PlayStation 5 features, such as DualSense support. It doesn't use the triggers, but it does have a sort of different feel to the vibrations than the normal PlayStation 4 version. And the load screens are totally gone. It is just, you're going from everything is even snappier and poppier, which is what you really want for a puzzle game, and it is very much noted and very much appreciated. Now, the reason I say this is kind of a next-gen recommendation as opposed to a current-gen is just due to the fact that, let's say you are starting over fresh. You're jumping into Xbox or PlayStation, and you're wondering, what do I want to play? Yes, there's nothing stopping you from playing Puyo Puyo Tetris on your PS4 or PS5, but you just have to look at the fact that there's not going to be a huge library of titles right away. And things releasing on PlayStation or the Xbox One, and especially the Switch, every week is just drowned out by titles, whereas the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Store are going to be a little bit more curated for next-gen because not every developer is really there. So I think Sega was really smart by having a title focused on next-gen, and even though it's not graphically pushing anything that crazy, if you're looking for a super solid puzzle game to get into, whether you are a Puyo fan or a Tetris fan or just curious what it's like, you have so many options on here. As I mentioned, there's a huge story mode that you can go to. There is online that has been updated from the original. There's more characters than the first game. There's new modes with skill battle. And all of these modes play just as well as they did in the first game. I think the big thing that Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 actually has going for it is partly some of the lessons that Sega learned with Puyo Champions, otherwise known as Puyo Esports in Japan. So Puyo Esports is actually kind of like the 0.5 sequel from Puyo Puyo Tetris to Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. Now, obviously, Champions didn't have Tetris, but it did learn about updating the game, less so in a DLC manner, more so in a free updates. And Sega is definitely leaning into free updates. They're acting like Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is a platform, more so than a game that you just buy and forget about a couple of months later after it gets no updates or support. I think it's really, really great that they are planning on treating this more like a platform by offering not only new characters to play as through updates, but also new game modes to start invigorating not only the online community, but even people like me who just like playing solo or inviting friends over for 1 to 4 player multiplayer. Even taking the updates out of the whole situation, what is on display here in terms of character roster, locations, music, gameplay, modes, everything is there that I was wanting to be there. Obviously, I've not gotten to sink all of my teeth into the adventure mode, and I plan on giving a full review, sort of diving deeper into what the new features and the new story are of this game compared to the first one. So hopefully at a later date we can sit down and discuss everything new and what they brought to the table with the sequel once the game is fully out for everybody, and I can talk more in a full review outside of this preview environment. Either way, I would say do not sleep on Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, especially if you got next-gen hardware. This is something really, really great to play on your next-gen and current-gen. So let's say you are someone who just has a PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or Switch. This is still a really, really great title. On PlayStation, you have obviously a whole new set of trophy list, and no matter where you're playing, you're getting a brand new story mode to experience along with new modes and updates that the original game is just not going to get. I think it's almost sort of funny to think that something like Puyo Puyo Tetris is treating itself like a platform a little bit better than some of the sports games that get released year after year on multiple platforms. So on one sense you can say, oh well, why buy Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 when you can get the first one for much cheaper? It's the same reason people don't buy Madden 19 when Madden 20 is out. I'm very, very interested to see and experience more about the game, cover it for you guys on the channel, and really just dive deep into the world of Puyo Puyo Tetris, which I feel like was a century ago, back in 2017, when the rest of the world finally got in English, but cannot believe that we are almost a month away from everyone else getting their hands on this, at least for me personally, long-awaited sequel, and will definitely be something I spend hours upon hours just constantly grinding marathon mode with Tetris, and most definitely trying to hone my Puyo skills and failing miserably in the process, but hey, it's a learning experience. Either way, guys, thank you so much for listening and watching this preview with me. Let me know what you think. This is something I don't normally get to do pre-release that often, but thanks to the awesome folks at Sega, they were able to offer me a code for coverage, and I was more than happy to talk about one of my most favorite cult classic puzzle games of all time. I'm a huge Puyo Puyo Tetris fan, and if you are just dying for more Puyo Puyo Tetris and somehow have not played it, I cannot recommend it enough. Whether you want to play the original on PS4, PC, or Switch, or want to be an utter mad lad and import the Vita version, or have just played it before and want more people to talk to, please let me know in the comments below. Do not forget, more coverage of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 is coming, and the full game is going to be out worldwide December 2020. I do have a couple minutes left of pre-recorded footage, so please enjoy the rest of it without my commentary and soak in the majesty that is Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 on the PlayStation 5.
Here. Oh well. Here.
Here it comes! Here I come!
Don't be afraid.
Prepare
okay?
yourself!
Sit your breath.
Hey now!
Nice.
Of course!
Oh well.
Here it comes!
Here.
Don't blink! Here I come!
Come on.
Prepare yourself!
Don't be afraid.
Concentration now!
You okay? Simmer down.
Here it
Sit your
comes!
breath. Nice. Here.
Ready?
Come on. Don't be
Here I
afraid.
come!
Oh well.
Prepare
Here.
yourself!
Come on.
Here it
Don't be
comes!
afraid.
Fire,